The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan. Loading screen for the loading screen to load the game.
Shall we play a game?
Welcome to another episode of Nude Clan Gaming.
Yeah!
I am your host, Caleb Schweiss.
I'm your other host, Joseph DeGollier.
And I'm Caleb Craig.
And this is Cameron.
And today, Cameron and I will be reviewing Destiny. Now, this is the core game that we're reviewing. We did not get Taken King. I did not want to spend $40 on the next 6 hours of game.
You know,
I decided to go with just the core.
You know, the funny thing is, when we were trying to decide which game to do, Taken King was actually on sale. The whole Destiny Taken King for $35.
Yeah, but that's still a good chunk of money considering we borrowed this from... I borrowed Joe's copy and you borrowed Cody's copy, a roommate of Joe and Cameron, and we played it for free. Now, we are going to say we're going to come back to Taken King to give this I don't know, should we review it as a separate game? Should we consider it? Okay.
I think that the amount of content the Taken King adds kind of makes it a separate game.
Okay, well, then we'll review that. I think I'm willing to do it the next time
like
you and I...
like a mini review on a regular episode and just make it the subject. I don't know, like...
It's supposed to be the same size as the
these
core,
reviews
though.
usually take like an hour, and then like... If that's not going to make any changes to gameplay or music or anything, it's going to be like story and
the sound is different.
Right?
They don't have Dinklage anymore.
Yeah, they got rid of him.
Okay, all right.
You know, I was going to mention
I
that
stand corrected.
as a cool thing because you kept saying, "Oh, listen, Dinklage." I'm like, that doesn't sound like Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Did they really replace him in the game?
They did. So with Taken King, they replaced everything that he ever did, which is okay because it sounded like a bored Tywin Lannister reading these lines, and it's just like all monotone. Tyrion, sorry.
So was he in our version that we played?
No, he was not in our version.
Okay, so they updated it, and he's not in there.
He is not in there.
Okay, because it
I
sounds
remember
like
his
him.
version.
You played it when it was his version.
I played it too.
It sounded like
sounded
him,
good.
but it was off.
But
so
when the
I guess,
Taken King came out, they updated everything. So the Taken weren't even an enemy before the Taken King.
Maybe his paycheck was just too much. They didn't want to.
Well, it was really boring. It was shitty.
Yeah, he did a terrible job.
I didn't think it was shitty.
No, I don't think it was good in the version we played anyway, though, is the thing. Like, I still don't care for it that much.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll get to that later.
We will.
Let's do some quick plugs. Facebook.com/Nude Clan Podcast. That's NEWD for
She
Facebook.
turned me into a noob.
You can find me at Joseph DeGollier.
And you can find me at Obsidian Bah, BAH.
Me at Nude Clan Cam.
And you can tweet me at UFF Podcast.
You can go to nudeclan.net, which will take you currently to ultimatefinalfantasy.com, and you can mess around on the forums, talk with other Nude Clan listeners about any sort of video game stuff you want, ask us questions and whatnot.
Yeah, one day we'll have a website.
If you want to make it. You can go to twitch.tv/nudeclangaming, and then, of course, you can email us at nudeclanpodcast at gmail.com.
Yes.
All right. So what has everyone been playing?
I've been giving my 3DS some love and just playing some Alpha Sapphire, and then a little bit of a game I found called Legend of Legacy. So
How's that going?
Ridiculous name.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's a JRPG that's made by Atlas, so you know they usually put out some pretty good games.
Okay.
Nice.
Cameron?
Destiny's Child. This is all I've been
Oh, you've been listening to?
You've been listening to Destiny's Child?
Yeah, the music segment of the show.
Wow.
No, the only game I've been playing is Destiny so far.
Okay, so no one's well, I know someone has. I've been doing Destiny, obviously, and quite a bit of Crisis Core for Ultima Final Fantasy.
If I were saying you were playing Destiny in any sort of way, it would be obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's obvious because we're reviewing it.
He's been playing Destiny, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
He can't stand it.
Yeah. Well, that one wasn't funny at all.
The puns are
so.
so bad sometimes.
All right. So, yeah, other than that, I haven't touched anything else. I've just been doing those.
Shut up.
What about you, Joe?
I've been playing Final Fantasy Crisis Core. I've been playing... Oh, I played a little bit of Game Dev Tycoon after our review.
Nice. Did you try with the mods?
No, I just kept playing on my thing. I wanted to see like what else I could do. And I also have been playing Far Cry Primal.
Oh, nice.
I've never ever played a Far Cry game, and so far I'm enjoying this one. I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, you need to enjoy it hard and fast so I can enjoy it. Since I spent $60 on it.
Yes, I know. I didn't use your code for your mammoth stuff so that you could have those.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
I would have been fucking pissed if that would have
I'm
happened.
sure you would have been. I would have probably bought you a new copy of the game.
Yeah. No, yeah. So in the spirit of giving, and since we have a little while, because as you guys know, I mean, in 2 weeks, we're going to do the first movie review episode where we're going to watch the Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
I think Joe's got that coming in the mail from Netflix, so that'll be a joy. And
it will be something, I will tell you that.
Yeah, so a few weeks after that is when we'll get to Primal, so we got time, but...
Do we have a question, Schweiss?
I think we do. I think we have more than a question. But...
All right, so what's our question? Is it from Shinru?
Yeah, it is.
And always the Shinru.
All right, so the topic is any games listed here you would want to play. Just curious if...
We're just going to yes, no, yes.
What are some of your... Okay, never mind. Just curious if any of the games listed above...
So you got to click on the link.
Why?
Because.
Just copy it. All right, let's... It's from our Ultima Final Fantasy show. So
Okay, that's because he did a huge post in another spot.
he did.
All right, so let's go through. And what games out of our Final Fantasy listeners, mainly Shinru,
Yes.
of their favorite video games ever, what games would we consider playing for Nude Clan or for ourselves?
All right, Final Fantasy V. Nope. Kingdom Hearts. Nope. Bayonetta 2.
Yes, I would play that. I have played the first one, and I would like to play the second.
I would need to play the first one.
Yeah, after 1.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron? Do you know anything about Bayonetta?
I do not.
It's like God of War or Devil May Cry. It's one of those type games.
It's got the one girl with the big ass and the tight pants.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right. All right, so what are you on the fence with that one, Cameron?
Yeah, I'm on the fence.
Ninja Gaiden 2, Xbox 360 game.
I think I might have played that one, actually.
How was it?
It was all right.
Those games look cool. I don't know. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Nope.
No.
Nope.
I don't know. There hasn't been too many good Sonic games, so I don't know if I could trust that.
Cave Story. I know nothing about that. Super Smash Bros. Melee. I think we've all played
anything
that.
about a cave story?
Cave Story?
Yeah.
I've never heard of
I
that.
might have heard about it,
I
but
legitimately have never heard of this game.
I would have to look at it in order to, I don't know.
In order to not know.
Does it just take place in a cave?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's a spelunking game?
Yeah.
That
sounds intense.
Just spelunking, Caleb.
Oh.
Actual spelunking. I know.
That's terrible.
I know.
That's
he's
nowhere
into.
near as good.
That is not how that word is used.
So no one knows anything about Cave Story. We've all played Melee, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not going to play that for this show, though. It's a fucking fighting game.
You might. Well, what's the next?
The next one is Ocarina of Time.
Oh, what's the next Smash Bros. Game coming though?
The next
Not
Smash
for a
Bros.
while,
game will
I
be
know.
on the NX, and there's not a whole lot of information yet.
Okay.
So Ocarina of Time. That would be a fun one.
Maybe we can give that one a go.
Maybe. That would be kind of fun.
I would like to play Ocarina of Time.
All right.
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time is a good one.
Since our Zelda podcast fell through.
Yes. I don't know, Cameron, do you care about Zelda at all?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. I've played the Ocarina of Time.
Okay, did you play it all the way?
No.
Okay, yeah, none of us have. All right, so maybe Caleb. Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yes, I would love to play Metal Gear Solid 2 after I finally beat Metal Gear Solid 1 someday.
I'd have to give those games a retry. I haven't played much of them.
I think 3 is a better game.
See, I played 3 all the way through, and it was amazing, and I've just not played that much of the other ones.
Yeah, they're different. Well, 2 is a lot like 3, but Cameron's not that interested in Metal Gear Solid, though, right?
No, not as much.
All right, so Xenoblade Chronicles. We can't go through all of these. There's a shitload. All right, I'm just going to pound through them. Xenoblade Chronicles, Fire Emblem Awakening, Tales of Fantasia.
Those are a lot of RPGs, man.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3.
Yes.
Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Klonoa. Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3. Journey. Shadow of the Colossus. Eco. Already done. Child of Light. To the Moon. Earthbound. YS7.
Earthbound, yes.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. Donkey Kong Country. Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
Or Rondo of Blood. Mega Man Battle Network 2.
Yeah.
Silent Hill 2. Fatal Frame 2. Resident Evil 2.
A lot of 2s.
I might try Resident Evil. I don't know.
The first one sucks, I think. Eternal Darkness, and that's from a lover of the series.
I want to play Eternal Darkness.
They did
I've heard
remake
too many
the
good
first
things.
one on PS4, Caleb, so you might want to give that one a try.
Yeah. Deus Ex.
What about Night Sex?
Amnesia, Dark Descent, Snatcher, Policenauts, Persona 4 Golden, Chrono Trigger, never, Xenogears, never. Not for the show, at least.
Yeah, Ultima Final Fantasy. There's going to be a listen like, why won't you play Chrono Trigger? It's like, well,
Shin Megami,
it's planned for another show.
Tensei Nocturne, and Super Mario Bros. 3. Any of those that are super, super appealing to you guys?
His
Other than
first
ones we
half of the
talked.
list that we talked about were the ones that were super appealing to me.
Okay. You don't want to do like a Resident Evil series playthrough?
I might try Resident Evil 4 for the 16th time and ultimately fail as per usual.
When it comes out for PS4?
I don't give a shit when it comes out. I'll play the other game. I don't care.
You don't want
Do you
trophies?
have a copy?
No, he doesn't.
I have. Yeah, I do have a copy.
Do you on PS2?
On PS2 and PS2.
Okay.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
How dare you? How dare you not know what's on my shelf?
Okay.
I know
Well, it is in your room.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, Caleb does spend a lot of time in there.
It's true.
Waiting around
I'm not
for me to
paying
come
attention
home from work.
to what's
It's
on
been
the
a
shelf.
tiring day, and I need an escape.
I just mostly like to sit on the bed in
Caleb's
lingerie.
naked,
yeah.
holding. He's laying down on his stomach, holding the pillow up on his chest. So he's kind of propped up, and he's got an apple in his mouth.
Nice.
Yeah, that's how Joe likes it.
All right, so
with an apple in my mouth.
Yeah.
If Shinru could choose 4 that he named, he would really like to see us play Cave Story. Hands down, the best indie game ever made, in his opinion.
Oh, it's an indie game. Okay.
And it was made by just one Japanese guy all alone, and it took him like a decade to make. It's available on Steam or PC, Nintendo Wii Store, DSi, 3DS. 3DS also has the 3D remake it, so it has 2 versions for the 3DS. It's not very long, takes like 6 to 8 hours. Bayonetta. I love hack and slash action games like Ninja Gaiden, Devil May Cry, or Metal Gear Rising. And Bayonetta 1 and 2 are arguably some of the best. We will see about that. The PS3 version sucks and has frame rate drops, so play the Xbox 360 version or the Wii U version, which run at 60 frames a second. Game is about 8 to 10 hours long, and yes, there is an easy mode for Joe if normal is too hard.
Man, fuck off.
If you aren't really interested in Bayonetta, it would be cool if you guys played Ninja Gaiden 1 or 2 on the 360 or PS3. Those games are great. Journey on the PS3 or PS4, it's a great game that has a similar feel to Shadow of the Colossus or Eco.
I thought it was like a band game.
If you guys enjoyed that game, we did.
Like Guitar Hero Journey. I don't know.
No, it's not. No.
Lastly, the Shin Megami Tensei series is one of my favorite RPG series, aside from the usual stuff like FF or Kingdom Hearts.
I've heard that name kind of spread around in the Final Fantasy forums. Like, what is that? Do you know anything about it?
I do. There's like quite a few different versions of Shin Megami Tensei, like Persona or Devil Summoner, like a bunch of different types. But they're all pretty good, and they're all JRPGs that are pretty solid. And I think they're by Atlas.
Are they like turn-based? Or
they are turn-based, yeah.
Okay.
So he says he prefers the main series of those to the Persona spin-off series. So it would be cool if we could play Nocturne on PS2, which is also available for the cheap on the PS3 store.
For the cheap.
It's one of the coolest games in the series and probably the most easily accessible one to play. So we could get a hold of it easy enough, but
I think for the cheap is like a sweet battle cry.
For the cheap.
Yeah,
That's basically what it was for Destiny.
We need
Yeah.
to go. We
For
need
the cheap.
We need to go to the store right now. There's a sale.
For the cheap.
Everyone puts their fists in the air.
yeah, that's pretty solid. No, that is kind of how we approach some of the stuff. Like,
For the cheap.
we only have so much money. Who's picked up Far Cry? Is it?
I've picked a Primal.
Didn't you snag it too, Cameron?
I know I'm going to do it tonight. The only reason is
I'm sure Cameron has picked up.
Yeah.
I have actually held the game
Yeah.
since Caleb
He's picked it up.
Okay.
But to be a non-literal asshole, literal asshole, like Joe is walking around, sphincter, I will purchase the game tonight because I won't be able to play the game in time if I don't.
All right. So wait.
Because I can't purchase it next paycheck, so it has to be this paycheck.
Oh, okay. Did you just barely get paid?
Yes.
Okay, then yes. Yeah, that's accurate.
Money's tight. Cameron claims to make the most money out of all of us, but yet he always seems to have the least.
Somehow I just seem to
Least
have the
amount.
most expenses. I don't know how that works out.
I don't know either because you live at the same place I do.
Watch budget. So
I make the least out of all of us at this moment.
true.
But mom and dad is not helping me out.
That's true. They are helping me out a bit, not like hundreds of dollars.
Well, let's see. Phone,
80.
insurance,
School is way more than hundreds.
Are you doing the tuition plan thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that makes more sense.
That's
now.
like $3,000.
So you're doing a couple hundred every month for that.
Yeah.
All right.
It's more like 700
No.
for 3 months is what mine
Yeah,
was.
they give you
part-time,
time to
no.
do it, but yeah.
If it's part time, I think mine were like $400 a month when I paid for school for me.
Mine's 7.
I only took
That's how
a
much
couple
mine was.
classes though. How many classes are you taking?
4.
All right, we can talk about this more.
Yeah.
Getting fat.
Getting fat. This is a getting fat discussion.
But yes, we're poor, and we will eventually play this game, and yeah. So,
Although it may make us starve.
yes. Well,
Purchasing this, Cameron. How about me and you go splitsies on this? On
you guys
Far
could
Cry.
download it on the
Splitsy's a
store.
Far Cry.
Yeah.
Can't they download it on the PlayStation Store?
They can download it on the PlayStation
You both
Store,
get
and
a
then I can
download.
show you how to share it.
How to cheat the system?
Yeah.
I prefer to have my own copy, though.
But it is your own. It's a digital download.
We live at the same place. We are not up at the same hours. We might as well share a copy.
Well, then you guys could go buy it if that's the case, and you could just go buy a copy.
Yeah,
and share
that's
it.
true. Just have a
And
physical
whoever
copy.
wants it can pay the other person out. Or buy the
Yeah,
other
I do that more over a digital shared
Okay.
copy.
Okay, let's do that.
You can do that
Okay.
too, unless it's on like sale. But that's up to you guys.
I don't think it's on sale.
I doubt it. It's too new. Yeah. So sweet.
Okay.
You guys ready to talk about Destiny?
Are you?
It is
I
our
guess, yeah.
destiny.
We called it the Traveler, and its arrival changed us forever. Great cities were built on Mars and Venus. Mercury became a garden world. Human lifespan tripled. It was a time of miracles. We stared out at the galaxy and knew that it was our destiny to walk in the light of other stars. But the Traveler had an enemy. a darkness which had hunted it for eons across the black gulfs of space. Centuries after our golden age began, this darkness found us. And that was the end of everything.
That is, until I found you. We've always known the darkness would return. To finish what it started. To take our home. That's why I've been looking for you for centuries. There are only a few of you who carry the light of the traveler, who have the strength to fight the darkness. I'm not going to lie to you, Guardian. You are Earth's last hope. If you fail, everything you know, everything humans have ever known, will be gone forever. So, you know, no pressure.
Product not yet rated.
All right, Destiny, guys, the most expensive game ever,
By far.
To buy?
no
Oh,
to make. But that isn't quite necessarily true, though. So,
Oh no.
what?
yeah. So what it actually is, Bungie partnered with Activision Blizzard on the development of this game, and they have kind of like this relationship where Bungie owns Destiny, and Activision is doing more of the legwork for it, whereas
The
Bungie is developing the
distributor.
game. Correct.
Yeah, that's what Activision does.
So Bungie owns it, and there was this number thrown around. How much was this game? How much did it cost to make it? And $500 million is that number that's being thrown around. But
Holy shit.
it goes a little
Which
bit
is-
deeper than that.
Which is Avatar plus a Harry Potter movie.
Goes a little bit deeper than that. So that 500 mil is not just for the development of the game. So a chunk
I
of
think
it
that
is
was
towards
for
the development of the game,
marketing,
but then they went out to say, okay, yes, some of it's towards marketing, some of it's towards this new way of this new engine, and some of it is just going to be made up with future iterations of Destiny.
So they invested $500 million into the project.
Right.
It did not necessarily cost $500 million.
It did not take $500
the game.
to develop the game, to do it. I think what he said was, what was that quote?
Well, even if it was everything combined, Grand Theft Auto 5 to make and market was $265 million.
But this is,
which is also insane.
It is, but
Well,
that's like
but
half.
this is what they said was that they need that much more to get the ball moving on this game, and since this engine, everything's already created, they're not going to need to invest that much into each new Destiny that comes out.
Right, and it's supposed to be a series that's going to span a decade.
Exactly.
They're going to come out with Destiny content for a while, is the plan.
Okay, so this was Bungie after they split off with Microsoft.
Correct.
So it's basically...
So this is right after Halo Reach
This is
in 2010.
Halo. This is the new Halo.
So this is what is Bungie going to do without Halo? What are they
Right.
going to do next?
This is the next decade-spanning thing. And so they sat down and said, okay, so we just got done with Halo. Now what we need is a new game to be our champion, our flagship. And what do we want it to be? And so what it was is
Halo again.
It's going to have elements of Halo.
It's going to have elements of Halo.
And we also kind of wanted to have an open world slash multi-online player type game. And they were developing it, they were moving forward, and in our review we're going to talk about this, but everyone, when it finally came out, with that 500 million thing, Activision also said if they got a Metacritic score of 90 or above, that would be an immediate $2.5 million payout to Bungie.
Ooh, didn't happen.
It fell kind of way short of that goal. And everyone keeps saying, what's wrong with this game? It feels like there isn't any story, and that's true, because about a year before release, they put together what's called a supercut, and that's just all of the already created, what is it called?
Content?
No, supercut is it's where they tell you the story.
Okay. And
you're playing a game, a cutscene. That's what it is.
Okay,
right. That's it. So they edit all these cutscenes together, and then they sat down and then they said, well, we feel that this is way too linear. This is too much. You have to go do this and this and this. We don't want that. So they scrapped the entire story. Mm-hmm. All that. So this game was in development for years by this point, and then they said, okay, we don't like the story, scrap it. And so what they were doing then is they were taking apart and stitching together, and kind of like this, more of a player can decide what he needs to do. But by doing that, they gutted the story out completely from what it was going to be.
Okay, so there was more story initially. Also, I will note the game has a 76 on Metacritic.
It's not bad.
It's not bad for Metacritic. Metacritic's kind of brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some brutality to it. I mean, it's just a collection of all the.
I have to say that it is a fun game to play. It really is. It's just, I was confused when I first started the game. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go over here. I don't know why. I don't know why anything's happening, but it's happening, and I got to go do it.
As opposed to the Halo series, where it has,
that's what it was happening with the story.
You can argue about how good the story is or how bad the story is in the Halo series, but they have stories within the shooter. And
I think if they kept... One of the reasons why they just trashed it, because it would feel too much like Halo, is if they kept that linear base, this and this and this and this.
We sure don't want it to feel like our big game.
The control was taken away from the player to decide what he wanted to do.
Yeah, that's true. Halo is linear.
So they trashed it, and it came out with Destiny, and a lot of things lacking.
Hype.
huge hype.
Oh yeah, everyone was freaking out about it.
And so it started in 2010. That $500 million is just, it's kind of a beginning price tag of the series, if you will, not just for the game, just the buy-in, the investment to get Destiny, the series rolling, is what it really is.
Yeah, that's why FF7 was so expensive. The systems they had to put in place.
Even
to
then,
make
guys,
8, 9.
People hear video game series, including Grand Theft Auto and Destiny here, when they put out their numbers as far as how expensive a game is, they're including their marketing cost.
They do now, yeah.
Movies don't include their marketing cost.
Right.
So if you're looking at that $500 million thing, or if you're looking at the Grand Theft Auto, 200, whatever, what was it, 175? 265, sorry, way off. The $265 million thing, I mean, that's everything. And movies typically, a movie has to make twice its investment in order to make a profit, because they spend as much as they did on the movie as they do on marketing.
Yeah.
So when John Carter of Mars costs $260 million, it needs to make $600 million, or else it's a flop.
Right.
So, numbers are a little different.
Are they making another John Carpenter movie?
John Carpenter?
Is that what you said? What'd you say?
John Carter.
Oh, John Carter. That's what I meant. John Carter
you did
movie.
say John Carpenter.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I think you did.
I was thinking John Carter.
I don't think John Carpenter had all of his budgets to his movies combined. I don't think they've ever been $260 million.
Yeah. Is that a director?
Yeah, it's a director. He directed The Thing and Halloween.
Oh, The Thing's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's not expensive. No, I was thinking
Sorry.
John Carter. I was thinking it, but are they making a second one then?
I don't know.
Oh, is
Probably
the
not.
one on Mars?
I think it was a huge flop, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it. It was a massive flop for Disney.
It was a massive flop. Let's get back to Destiny.
Anyways, are you guys ready for some more behind the scenes drama at Destiny?
Yeah.
So after the story is scrapped, their longtime composer for the Halo series, Martin O'Donnell, he had a falling out with Activision. So Martin O'Donnell, he was up on that bandwagon to release the soundtrack to Destiny as soon as possible, right? He's wanting to get out there. Activision, however, had a different opinion on that.
What did they think?
They didn't want to release it right away, and it led to this huge falling out between Martin O'Donnell and Activision. And actually, the soundtrack parts of it was helped along by Paul McCartney too. So we have his influence on the soundtrack.
Ching.
Anyways, he really wanted to release the soundtrack to the game. But Activision said no, and lo and behold, Bungie fires Martin O'Donnell. And Martin O'Donnell takes Bungie to court, sues them for his breach contract, all the money he missed out on.
So was it in his contract to release it then?
I don't know. It wasn't his contract. He wanted to release it. They had this huge falling out. Bungie fires their longtime composer. And
that's a mistake.
Who won the lawsuit? Do you know?
Martin did. He got all of that that back. It was a contract. Of course, he won.
He must have been. They must have said they were going to release it.
Yeah, they must have violated something.
And so, anyways, 40 minutes of the music of the Spheres, I think that's what it's called, is actually in public domain now. You can look it up online, you can find it, and you can download it. But it's actually 40. Nice. So we're missing 8 minutes of it that they're retaining, I guess, to further develop as Destiny goes on. But 40 minutes of it, you can just go find and download. It took me like 30 minutes
weird.
to find it. It took me 30 minutes to find it online. I have downloaded it. That's what you guys heard me listening to a little bit earlier, just so I could find it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
A lot of back behind the scenes drama going on for Destiny.
Yeah, that's weird.
Scrapping the story, firing their composer.
I think whenever you get a big, honestly, I don't think Bungie should have gotten involved with another big distributor. I mean, can they learn their lesson with Microsoft?
Oh, they took our game. Let's let somebody else do that.
As if Activision's any fucking better.
But see, they specifically with Activision, their deal was, hey, we own the game.
Yeah.
So that's written down in the contract.
That's not. They did that to COD though. Activision fucked over Call of Duty with there's a whole debacle on that.
Yeah.
And now Call of Duty is developed by a bunch of different studios.
3 different people.
Admittedly, there is value to that, but
it does. They do introduce different aspects. They go, hey, let's investigate this a little bit more. So I think it brings more diversity to the Call of Duty line.
Yeah.
But Bungie specifically said, okay, no, we own this game. You can't take it from us. So let's help it get out there.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, so that's a little bit about behind the scenes getting it developed. They started in 2010, released in 2014.
Yes, 2014.
And that's just that's 4 years of development.
That's a decent chunk of time. It's not super long, not super short.
So after 3 years of development, they just scrapped their entire story.
They did.
Scattered it online.
There's even pictures of, they had screenshots of what it was going to, certain characters, certain missions, just all gone, which is why with The Taken King, they had some of that back. And also erasing all of Peter Dinklage's portion of
it's
game.
unfortunate. I miss Dinklebot.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm like, that does not sound like Dinklage.
It sounds similar to him,
like,
though.
if it's Dinklage, they synthesize his voice heavily.
Yeah.
They do.
I mean, but then if you listen to the early
original,
release,
you can definitely
it's
tell,
it's like Peter Dinklage with maybe talking through one of those little tube things, and he's just
his throat's gone. He has a hole in his throat, so he talks to the tube.
Okay, so when the game begins, you are a guardian. What is a guardian? Well, you will come to find out guardians protect the last city. And as you're progressing, you're just kind of getting an idea of what the world is right now, but no idea how it got there. So you're in the last city, and the Traveler, this giant orb that floats right above the city, somehow came to your solar system and brought along the golden age for humans, where then they were able to expand to other planets in the solar system. The monolith of good.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Monolith is good.
Monolith is good.
It's just really creepy.
So humans have expanded their territories out to other planets in the solar system. Then comes the darkness, and still not quite clear on what the darkness is. They don't really go into that. Darkness, however, makes those civilizations collapse all the way back down to the very last city on Earth, which is in Russia. Am I right?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's in Russia. The orb's floating right over the city. You could probably shoot it with your gun if you wanted to. It's just hovering right there. And then in the absence of humans, different alien races have started to take over what the humans left behind. The Fallen, they're more of like a space pirate race where they're just scavenging, looking for stuff, and then fighting you whenever you come out. The Hive, which is like this necrophilia.
Necrophilia.
There are a whole bunch of dead. They're dead creatures along with just a hive mind with knights. I know. Just roll with it.
Technically, your dude is dead too.
That's true.
Especially mine. My guy had an exit.
Mine was a robot, so he wasn't ever alive in the first place.
Dun dun dun.
So the Hive, these people who tunnel underground, create these vast networks of stuff that you go down and infiltrate as well. Only believed to have been on the moon. However, you find them on Earth as well, deep below the surface. And then there is the Cabal, which have taken over Mars and their exclusion zone, and you need to infiltrate that in order to find the Heart of Darkness in the garden. What is the garden called again?
Colonel Kurtz.
So the Heart of Darkness in the garden, which is part of the darkness that is attacking the Traveler. That makes the Traveler that makes it asleep. So through your adventures, you finally complete the game and realize there wasn't very much to the game anyway.
So there's a beginning.
There is a beginning, and you must buy the Taken King in order to find out the beginning to what.
So it starts with that giant cutscene and all that other shit.
Right.
And then you just go places?
Pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, you infiltrate the Hive. You find out about the hive mind of the robots. You go to
like
Mars.
Ender's Game.
Yeah. So here you are on this planet finding out more information, all sneaky like, but then Dinklebot again raises all the alarms, and here they come to fight you.
Yeah, it's more repetitious than...
They often use old level design for the new portion of story.
Yeah, that you go back to the same places over and over again. So
Yeah.
it really bugs me in that aspect.
Okay, so is that all you have for story? Is that just...
So that was just kind of a backstory of what happened.
Okay.
And then I didn't want to get into too much detail because I didn't want to, give things away. Playing the game, you can pick who you want to be. Do you want to be a human, male or female, and a few different styles you can do, or you can do the Awoken, which are actually descendants of humans that fled to a different part of the galaxy to escape the darkness, had some biological changes happen, I guess, through evolution. They come back, they're all purple, their eyes glow. And you can also be this war machine, which is this sentient robot, war machine robot that you can play as, and it's nice to play them.
Yeah. I think my guy is one of those, actually.
Yes, we both picked it's the same race without talking to each other about it.
Nope, we just kind of went in. I was like, oh, this guy looks cool.
And so you briefly learn how the controls work, and then you're taken to the last city, the tower in the last city.
On the moon.
No, this is not the moon, this is Earth. Last city on Earth. And you talk to the seer guy, and a whole bunch of other people kind of find out what you start doing, if I can speak real fast.
Need to do.
Be doing.
And you find out that there are other players here that are actually live people. and you can interact with them, kind of.
You can dance.
You can dance with other players,
And
but
you can-
lo and behold, if you want to switch,
if you want to.
if you want to, you could dance if you want to. You can leave. Oh, you can leave.
You know what?
Your cars
Because of that,
behind.
I'm never going to dance again. These guilty feet have got no rhythm.
Anyways, player interaction is very minimal. I mean, you can go on these different planets. You can see other players. You can join them. You can take part in these world events where that you can all help each other, accomplish it. But really, the interaction isn't as much as you would expect from a massive online player game.
Yeah, I think we're getting into gameplay aspects here a little early.
Right. A little early, but so there's player versus environment mode where you're just playing the game like normal. Player versus environment mode as a fire team of up to 3. Player versus environment and skirmish. There's a skirmish mode. You can just go do strikes and with other people. Then there's the online multiplayer, which is extremely limited if you don't have the Taken King. There's 3 different modes you can play, but we'll talk more about that during the review.
This is the review.
Well, during our personal review.
All right. So, story out of 10. How do you guys feel about the story that was available within this version of Destiny, the original packaging of Destiny, minus Peter Dinklage?
The story you had to actually leave the game to go find out about. Only if you found the pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah, there's little cards, and you can go online to Bungie.net, and they have more information on the storyline.
Yeah, but you can't
That's
view
awful.
those. You can't view those cards unless you find them in the game.
There's certain things you do to unlock them, but yes, that is how it is.
Go to Bungie.com.
That's what it says every time.
Yeah.
Bungie.net. Go to
And
Bungie.net.
so you're
to find out
playing,
more.
and this
Click on
little
the ads.
and you're playing, and this little pop-up box will kind of shorten your screen just a tad to pop up. Hey, you've done this. Go look at it online.
Jesus.
I know.
That's where they put a lot of the story, and that's bullshit. And I'm not going onto their stupid fucking site every 2 seconds just to read up on something they could have put in the game.
Okay.
Right.
Story out of 10 that was put in the game.
Ooh.
Yeah, you do it first, Cameron.
Oh man, I'm thinking 4.
4?
Damn.
Yeah, 4, because I have no idea. I was literally confused when I started the game. I had no idea what was going on. And I was like, oh, wait, am I doing things out of order? And then when Kaleb and I started playing the game, I know there's not supposed to be an order, but we're just like, okay, I guess we'll go here now because it's our level or just slightly above our level. We had no idea what our objectives were.
And it
We were just
doesn't
playing the
matter.
game.
They're we played one out of order.
So
and
I'm
came
giving
back
that a 4
later.
for myself because
There.
just nothing there. I
It
didn't.
promised a story at the beginning, and then it didn't.
And yeah, it's promised to be an epic to span the decades, but so far it hasn't spanned the living room.
Having played 2 hours of this game, that first cutscene is very cool.
It is, yeah.
I remember when I actually beat the game, I was like super confused at what was going on because like there was like a massive cutscene. It's like, did I beat it? Like that didn't feel like an ending.
Yeah, the ending of the game feels like the mid game ending.
Like
it feels
the
like there should be
midpoint?
another half of a game coming because they allude to it too. Oh, that there's something more dark
it's
and
like-
scary coming.
It starts to
Only
get
if
like
you buy it.
a lot bigger and better, like towards the end, like the last few levels.
Like a
and then
good
like I
cop.
finally beat the game and like beat this boss, and it's like, oh, okay.
I think we're seeing the future of video games. In order to complete our video game, you must buy the second half.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of for the future. Honestly.
And that's what Destiny felt like. Seriously, it's like if you want to know what really happens, you got to buy the second half of our game.
So how long was the campaign?
I think we beat in about 10 hours. Would that be about right?
Yeah, that's at a high point. That's a high estimate, I'd say.
10 hours, one cutscene,
Well,
There's
a
more
few.
than just one cutscene.
Okay, there's more than
There's
just
probably
one.
like 5 cutscenes.
five cutscenes. And then go find the rest of the story online.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of
only
content
if you
on there.
discover.
Yet, highly advertised, most expensive game ever made.
Exactly. But I'm pretty sure we're missing a huge portion of what it could have been without purchasing the Taken King.
Yes, that's bullshit, though. All right, so my rating for the story, I'm going to give it a 5.
Oh.
I agree with Cameron on most aspects. I did have fun with the game.
I
the
had
story,
tons of fun.
The story
I just didn't know why I was having fun.
sort of served a slight purpose for a little while. Stop kicking my chair, you fuck. And but for the most part, it was like non-existent. I mean, we were just running around doing missions, which was fun. The missions were entertaining, but the story, I don't know. You go to a spot, you investigate, the bot fucks up, sounds the alarm. You fight.
Every mission.
You go to another mission, the bot sounds the alarm, says, "Oh, they're coming. If you thought there were a lot before, well, you were wrong. There's way more."
Finding out where the portal was actually made all of the portals come right here. They're about to arrive.
Yeah, they're going to open up, so have fun with that. So, I don't know. It just felt like they just didn't give a fuck when it came to the story.
It was very repetitive.
Yeah, it's as repetitive as friggin' BioShock 2 with the little sisters. You're just the same thing over and over and over, and they fuck up, and it's funny for like half a second. You meet this mysterious chick. She talks to you. It doesn't mean a fucking thing to you, and then you never see her again in the main story. It just I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Are we talking about BioShock? Or
No, we're talking about this.
Well, it's the same either way, so it doesn't matter.
You just run into some girl and she
gives you an awesome gun at the end, but that's pretty much all she does for you.
Yeah, like I don't know, it's really odd.
She alludes to there being more, and apparently when I was reading in the background when there that linear idea, she was just one part of another person you were going to meet, and they left her in, took him out. And maybe Taken King adds him back. I'm not sure. Rasputin. Do you know who Rasputin is? Apparently, he was supposed to play a larger role that he didn't act. We talked about him in the game, but didn't actually see him or do anything about him.
Yeah, he was like some bot, the Rasputin bot.
Yeah, but he was supposed to take a larger role into the whole purpose of the game, but no.
Right. Yeah, and like she alludes to the darker evil that the current dark evil fears, and then like we don't get it.
Right.
Wow.
And
it's
then
really
if you
weird,
look at the gun she gives you, it says that your ghost says there's parts of the gun that haven't been created yet, so it alludes maybe she can travel through time. So the little bit of a rumor there, she might be able to travel through time.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out when we come back to Taken King.
Wow.
But now for honestly my favorite part of the game, the gameplay. So this encompasses obviously the offline and the online aspect. Now I really liked how they added the almost like the lobby area when you go to the moon and you're on your server with your friends or whoever, and there's actual people running around. I thought it was really cool how they almost mingled the single player and the multiplayer aspect together basically flawlessly. I mean, Cameron and I jump in a fire team. We go down to the moon. We get our items checked out, the ones that we found that are unknown. We go to Cain the Elder.
No, that's on Earth, not the moon.
What?
So whenever you go to the tower, that's Earth.
Oh, is Tower Earth? I thought it was the moon.
Is Earth. No.
I don't, dude.
Clearly
it's
divine.
on Earth.
Dude, you're on the
Are
tower.
you sure?
Yeah,
you look
it's just,
out.
like,
You see
really
the
fucking
traveler
high up on Earth.
You see the traveler hovering over the city. You're on
Oh,
Earth.
no, you're okay. Yeah, okay. It's above, though. There's like a separate little thing for...
Yeah, you're on the tower, which is like way high up in the air.
All right. It looked like the moon because it's like a round ball, and then there's Earth.
I think the tower is like a space station. Well, not a space station, but like a floating fortress.
It's no moon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
so
no moon.
anyway, on the tower or wherever the fuck it's at, you basically jump back in there. You can go buy items. You can accept quests. Get little objective quests, like get a certain amount of kills against a certain enemy. Stuff like that gives you extra experience. I mean, you can level up your guns.
The leveling up has actually gone pretty fast. Once you start doing that, you just skyrocket levels.
Yeah, Cameron and I, for the first little bit, weren't accepting any of the missions down on the...
We just didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know they existed.
We didn't know.
And when we found them, we started just pounding through the levels. Like, it's really quick. That goes quick, and then... Yeah, so you get like certain classes with your character depending on who you chose, and there's almost no difference, honestly.
Who did you pick? What was your class, Caleb?
I don't even know.
You're a hunter.
You were a hunter.
Oh, what did you pick?
I picked Warlock.
Oh, did you get the jazz hands?
No,
jazz hands?
that's something you can only have if you do Taken King.
That's bullshit. We played the standard PvP. Why the fuck are they in there?
The lightning hands?
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's only something you can have if you buy the Taken King.
That is so fucking dumb,
It
dude.
adds another subclass.
That's horseshit. They throw them in there with us. They have like this uber.
No, but
fucking
see, it doesn't actually give
Palpatine
him too
shit.
much more advantage over us.
I don't buy it.
Because he can sit there, do lightning hands to you all day long, but if you're over, if you're like half a map away, you can hit him once with your golden gun. He's done.
Yeah, I can if I have mine. And if the map is more than 10 feet, 10 by 10.
I mean, yeah, a lot of those maps feel like Shotgun Horse Central.
Yeah, no, that's another problem with the fucking gameplay. Everyone online is an asshole. What you've done is you've... okay, so anyway, we'll go back. We'll catch up to this in a second.
Golden Gun sounds like a Republican cereal.
Yeah.
No, just
Like
if I say Golden Gun, it reminds me of 007
Like
on
some Golden
N64.
Guns.
Yeah. That's what I think of, too. I don't think of cereal.
Neither do I.
I was thinking Golden Grams. And just like,
All right.
So, anyway, so we've got these missions that you accept. You jump into fire teams. You can go do raids, which we did one raid.
We did one, yep.
It was really brutal because it was just Cameron and I for like 30 minutes, and then someone else finally joined, and we were able to take it out.
But the loot was decent, though.
The loot was good, and I enjoyed the raid. It's just they took so fucking long because we didn't get that third wheel in, and, whatever.
The third wheel to the Kaleb and Cameron show.
Yeah. But, I did really like the integration with the multiplayer. I thought that accepting quests was fun. The going around with Cameron, I mean, we played the game at the same time for most of it, and I thought that was a lot of really cool. The multiplayer I thought was solid. The only place where it really lacks, and I'm talking multiplayer versus mode, which of course we have the free-for-all, the 3v3, and then the 6v6. Yeah, free-for-all is the only way to go for me.
Otherwise, you're basically playing co-op.
Right.
Yeah, it's just co-op if not. And these modes were fun. I had a lot of fun playing it. It feels like Halo. It feels right. This is the one time your character actually gets to feel different because your special ability that you unlock is different based on who you chose. I got a gun that was flaming and gold, and it would insta-kill anything.
Every time I kill Caleb with my super, he's like, what was that? And every time I tell him what it was, but he forgets the next time.
It's just so bullshit. It's like some weird grenade thing of just like shocking.
I love that Nova Bomb so much because if I come around the corner, see 2 or 3 people fighting, they're all dust. They're all gone.
Yeah.
Removed into the ether.
The sniping is pretty solid. It's really fluid. It is Halo essentially.
Yeah, a very strong Halo feeling. More like Reach in my opinion, just because of all the
power-ups and shit.
Yeah. Because you can double jump everywhere.
Right.
You're not as attached to the ground as you would be in normal Halo.
And you have a main class that you can level up. And then you also get a subclass.
There's 3 different. So you are a warlock, and there's 3 different subclasses. The one you start out with, and then the one you can unlock when you reach level 15, and one that's unlocked if you buy the Taken King.
Right. So I have my secondary one, and I use that for a little bit. It's kind of a stealth thing.
And with the Taken King, you get
everything.
The rest of the game.
So you level up by getting experience for each class, and you can like choose different abilities that. You obviously want to go based on your play style. And I thought that was really fun.
Some things, though, that were added with the Taken King that you enjoyed the benefits of is your Ghost having extra armor and having a class item. Those weren't there during the normal version of the game. Those were added with the Taken King.
Fancy. And also you upgrade your armor. You can add different stats to that. You get new armor. You can break things down to then use as components to upgrading your current armor set. So all of that I thought was great.
Yeah, I really love how you can get experience with a weapon, get experience with armor, and then how they overall help you win the game.
Yeah.
So like as an example with my character, I have a very high strength setting because strength helps me restore my energy drain. And what my energy drain does is help me restore my super.
Yeah.
Not my super, my grenade, and then kills with my grenade help restore my super. So a kind of a roundabout way that I set up my character that felt really good.
Yeah, I haven't done that much thought into mine, unfortunately. So that's probably why I don't get mine very often. But
so during the free for all, I would have my super maybe 3 times every match.
Yeah, I get it once or twice.
So that's a lot of fun.
But let's see. During the matches, what'll happen is, you have your main weapon, and then you have your secondary weapon, your special. And for me, I had a main weapon of a semi-auto rifle, so pretty powerful, but a little slow. Because I love games or guns that have that sort of feel to them, more precise, and I can hammer out a bunch of, a few around every second and a half and make it a headshot every time. So I'd use that as my main, and then I had a sniper rifle as my secondary. Now, you'll start out with like 5 shots, and then random boxes will appear at random intervals in the game, and you can go pick up the ammo, and then also you get to choose a heavy weapon that you have equipped at all times, and heavy ammo spawns every so often.
And then when when that spawns, you have to bum rush it because everyone wants that heavy.
And everyone's going to be camping it, and if you get it, it gets sick. Like the one I just unlocked today is ridiculously powerful. 2-3 shots and you're dead. Like
the heavy weapons tend to be
for me
really
playing
strong.
through. I started out with this is just a normal campaign. I beat the game with a automatic rifle, but with certain upgrades. I put like what is an ACOG scope on it. When I zoom in, it fires slower, but like double damage. And I really trained myself to get headshots. And so when I have this awesome pulse rifle that I've other time unlocked, when I went to play the multiplayer, I could just headshot all day long, which is why I kill so fast, and it gives you 110 points for headshot, yet 100 points for just a kill.
Right. So the game, the multiplayer, it's based on points, so it's not always just a straight up kill thing.
So I have one having less kills than the person right behind me.
Right, based on how you kill, or you get assists. It's called crossfire. If you're hitting somebody and then they get picked up by someone else, you'll get 25 points.
Right. And you actually get 25 points for being in a crossfire too. So two people shooting at you, you escape, you get 25 points.
So it's like Call of Duty where it's not kills, it's points.
Well, COD, it's.
I mean, sometimes it's points in COD. Sorry.
Well, you can be. It's normally always kills in Call of Duty, but you can still have more points and less kills because you get assist points. So it's similar, yeah.
And some kills are worth a lot more. And then if you get chains of kills, you get points for having 5 in a row. You get points for killing 3 people at a time. It's
interesting.
The points add up.
Yeah, it's. I think it's pretty cool. And I really enjoyed the rushing for the heavy, the ridiculousness of the heavy. The community is full of pricks. I mean.
That's pretty normal game community.
Well,
right?
it is, but what the problem is they added MMO stuff to a shooter, and most people...
So it's the MMO pricks and the shooter pricks.
Yeah, but it's mostly the shooter pricks, honestly, because about 80% of people that really love shooters are assholes in those shooters. So a lot of teabagging, a lot of shotguns, a lot of
those
fuck-face weapons that are just so, OP.
All right, so I remember when I played it, the loot system was like really insane. What did you guys feel about the loot system overall?
I never really got super good stuff. I mean, I've gotten...
Well...
It scales.
Yeah, it scales with you. And then what I've learned is if you get any of those coded engrams, to not decode them right away, but to wait until you are a really high level on a really high light level, because all of your weapons damage, all of your armor ratings, they all attribute to a overall light level of your character. And if you have a higher light level, then you're more likely to get better items when you decode them.
Well, that's stupid. It should be what it is when you get it.
So loot isn't you get it at the end of whatever game you're playing?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're playing just the normal campaign playthrough, your enemies can drop loot, and you can go run over it. You can pick them up. The coded engrams is what they're called, or just weapon and armor. When you're playing online multiplayer, just against people, at the end of each match, you can get up to 2 pieces of loot, but that's not necessarily this story.
It's not
you can
always,
get one or just nothing.
That's pretty cool, actually, because I think most shooters up until nowadays, I guess, they never did that.
No, you just kind of unlock
they're adding
it
that
levels.
the massive multi-online player element to a shooter type game.
Yeah.
So that you're still collecting
So
shit.
it's not based entirely off of skill alone to unlock items. It's like, here's some randomized loot.
Yeah, they have some real random number generating going on. And
how does leveling work?
You just get experience for kills. You get experience for quests.
Yeah, I don't know if they changed this, but when I played Destiny, like you just leveled up to 20, and then there was light levels, which like came from your armor pieces that you got, and that came from usually playing from the multiplayer where you got more of those.
What does the leveling affect?
It's
Stuff you can equip.
Yeah. And it affects with stuff you can equip. The higher the level of an item, the higher light level it has. But with Taken King, you started out with a light level.
Yeah,
we had a really low light level when we first started, but we had one.
Yeah, and we also you can go up to level 40 now.
Oh, cool.
So I'm like level 34.
Taken King lets you go up to level 40, but I'm not sure we can reach that without purchasing Taken King.
Well, I'm already at 34, and Caleb said he could only get 20, so...
Caleb is above 20 by now.
I'm probably with my light level. I was like probably 24 or 25.
I think we might be stopped at level 38, Caleb.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, either way, we'll get up there. And yeah, the loot thing is cool because that causes people to do what they do in any MMO RPG and go do the raids over and over again to try to get certain items.
One thing that I really wish they added would be the ability to trade with other players.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid that
It's
they
an
don't have
MMO
that.
and you can't trade.
You cannot trade items. So let's say I'm a warlock. I have this warlock class, and I really love pulse rifles, but I hate shotguns. Caleb, for a little bit, he was using a shotgun playing the main story. I would prefer more of those charge items or something else for my secondary. And if he had an awesome charge item that I wanted, or if I had an awesome shotgun he wanted, I don't use shotguns, so I just have to dismantle it for weapons parts and glimmer, which is the currency in the game. I can't get his item from him.
Yeah, super stupid that they didn't add that in.
Yeah, they just had a stash that you can share with your own characters.
You can create up to 3 different characters you can play the game with, and they can share items amongst themselves.
Yeah, so Cameron could create a character in my class and use it.
But I wouldn't use a shotgun, so...
Not
still isn't
online.
useful.
I thought it was great in the campaign. It was really powerful.
Let me ask you, before we get to your final scores on whether or not you like the gameplay, which sounds like you do, having been a big Halo fan, I think the reason why Destiny was my first game that I bought on the PS4, it was because of kind of the way that Halo works as a shooter as far as its physics are concerned and its gameplay. It always seemed like a more simple, more fun system than the newer games like Call of Duty, which of course kind of eclipsed the fame of Halo 3 or any other kind of shooter since then. I'm still kind of stuck in that Xbox 360 kind of realm as far as like how I like my shooters and how I like my shooters that I play with friends and stuff like that. So how does Destiny compare with other shooters? What has it taken from Halo being a Bungie game, and what has it taken from other popular shooters?
It feels like Halo Reach met Borderlands.
Yeah, if you like Halo's gameplay, you'll like Destiny's online. It feels the same. There's no...
It feels exactly like Halo
It's got
Reach.
the really precise thing. You've got your reticle. You shoot. It goes there. I think for everything, right?
Yeah.
Even
no
snipers?
bullet drop.
No bullet drop.
Yeah, that's how I like my
It
shooters.
feels like Halo.
There's no
for sure.
auto aim assist though either, right?
No, there's not in Halo.
No auto aim assist. It does feel
Or
a
this,
lot
yeah.
like Halo. It feels like Halo Reach with...
Admittedly, while I was playing this, I was like, man, I really want to play Borderlands.
Exactly.
But I still had fun. And I
The
think
Borderlands is similarly like an RPG-esque shooter.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, so with
Halo
Borderlands-
is, for those who weirdly don't know, Halo is no RPG aspect.
No, not at all.
So Borderlands RPG aspect, weapons that do special types of damage, weapons that do special things. You upgrade things.
Upgrade your class, choose different abilities for your class. They took a lot from
Borderlands.
for sure. But I think they did a good job with it. I enjoyed the gameplay.
All right.
And
Any last words on gameplay before I...
Any last words?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
we covered everything I wanted to talk
out of
about.
10, what would you give gameplay for Destiny?
I personally, out of 10, would give it an 8 for gameplay.
Okay.
Okay.
Any reasons? Like big reasons why it's
Well,
not Max?
besides all the reasons that we just list in detail, I had a lot of fun playing it. Again, the story, we talked about that separately. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was having fun doing it.
Okay.
But you wish that you could trade, and what else?
Yeah, I wish we could trade weapons. Just add more massive online multiplayer aspects to what they promised it would be. Being able to trade, maybe some even matchmaking for the multiplayer online, because there wasn't really any match.
Oh, that's true.
It's
There's
to see
no
like
matchmaking.
you pick what you want, and then it finds other guardians, and then throws you all together. And then once you play that, it takes you all back out. Then you're back to searching for other people to play with, and it throws you all back in. Admittedly, you play with a lot of same players because they're all available at the same time.
Right.
But there isn't like you're now going to wait in queue with them.
Yeah, that is frustrating.
That's lame.
You know what? I was going to give it a 9, but remembering that, I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay.
And the reason why I agree is, that's a big part of it. And honestly, going into this game, I'm good at shooters, so I did okay. But It's just like fucking Last of Us Online, where everyone's like God status. There's a level 600 motherfucker on the other team. They've played this game probably as long as you've been alive, and they're better than you, and it shows. I hate the fact that there's no fucking matchmaking in here. You just go in with whoever, and there's guys that are really, really good.
And so, yeah, Caleb
and you
and
just
I,
get trashed.
Caleb and I got pretty decently good playing this game.
Yeah, no, I think we picked
most
it
of the time we would be, both him and I were fighting for the top spot in most of the matches we were playing. But then every now and then there's this God descends into the queue.
Yeah, like
and
crazy.
he trashes us like just destroys everything.
We're talking almost no kill rounds. Like Cameron got 1 or 2, I got 1, and like we died like 10, 11 times each. It's sick. So there's no matchmaking, and that's something that I loved with Halo. You played against people that were your level. You could get better at the game naturally instead of just, well, I don't have a choice. I just need to get better somehow against these gods.
And I'm so glad that their armor rating and everything didn't really affect the gameplay we were doing because, oh man, we would have trashed so hard.
Oh, even harder, yeah. But the weapons definitely do.
Yes, the weapons do make a difference.
That makes it tough, but yeah, that's why I knock off the 2 points mainly is that and no trading. And there's only 3 fucking multiplayer modes. Come on.
Yeah.
For our version. If you have the Taken
original.
King, you unlock another 12 different modes you can play.
Yeah, horse shit.
I remember being kind of disappointed that there wasn't a whole lot of strikes too. You know how like for most MMOs you could go into like a dungeon and then like go do that and fight a boss and it was always fun. But like for Destiny, there's like 3 available, like the original.
Yeah, and
one
we
that
only
I
did
played.
1 strike.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of disappointing that way.
Feels kind of cheap if you were to throw $60 at it and be like, well,
Yeah.
I'm done. And there's
Here,
nothing.
guys, pay off your $500 million
Yeah,
debt.
you fuck.
I would have been so mad to have paid full price without the Taken King.
All right. So the next aspect on our Nude Clan reviews, design, the look of the game.
Oh, man.
Graphics, all that. It's a late era PS3 game. You guys played the port to PS4. What other systems was it available on?
It wasn't a port to PS4. It was
They
launched
co-released
at the same
it.
time.
Yeah, it was
Well,
launched for both systems.
That's not a port.
But they still have to make it.
downgraded it for
They
the PS3.
downgraded it
did
for
they?
PS3
Okay,
because this game looks wonderful. It is an amazing feel and look to it. One downside is again playing through the campaign. They reuse areas over and over again.
Yeah, endlessly. We descended into the same fucking cavern like 5 times.
And then
I'm like,
another favorite tactic.
But was it a good looking cavern?
It was a cavern I would descend into.
Look at this
every
cavern.
night.
Look at it
yeah.
again. Look at this cavern again and again.
Hit it.
So a lot of times they would do, okay, you'd progress so far into our cavern and then you go back.
Right.
And then, okay, now we have to go back there and go a little farther, stop, and then go back. And then
so
again,
picky with the cavern.
and then you start again, and you actually then finally complete that area, and then
Right.
you're done.
Yeah.
You find
You finish.
you find the spot in the cavern, the special spot, and then you don't have to come back to the cavern. The cavern is just satisfied.
Cavern is satisfied.
Yeah, so there was a lot of reusing, but I agree. The game looks fantastic. I think it's awesome that you can customize your gear. I had my sweet little cape that I changed out a bunch of times. There's all sorts of stuff.
Better cape.
And the world looks great. The characters look incredible.
That lighting effects from the little I played looked really good.
So
Yeah.
that's another thing about the engine. They specifically redesigned the engine to take lighting aspects into it, where they have. Let me see if I can pull it up again. So lighting was a huge thing for them.
Can you talk into the mic though when you're saying it?
I will talk into the mic when I say it.
Thank you.
I don't know, Schweiss. Anything else about the like color schemes or anything like that?
It's very metallic, but it's not quite as vibrant as like Borderlands or some of these other zany, crazy, colorful
Borderlands,
games. But
it's hard to compare. Borderlands
Borderlands
is a
is
cell
their
shaded
own.
thing.
yeah, it is. It's
So
cell shading.
little on the
Art style.
technology. So Destiny uses a brand new game engine, which is a part of why it costs a little bit more.
They had to make it.
That allows global illumination and real-time dynamic lighting to occur together in cohesion. And that was a direct quote from what they said.
That's cool.
So lighting and real-time dynamic lighting, so certain events happens, actually affects the in-game engine.
Yeah.
Lighting-wise, that was a huge thing that they had to develop. So it's first of its kind.
Yeah, so like if a ship flies by and
Blocks
something
out the
happens to
sun.
another mission, it blocks out.
Oftentimes you're playing along and then a world event will happen and all of a sudden it gets real dark. You're like, what's going on? And then you hear that screeching metal noise that the hive ships make when they warp into your area and they block out the sun, shoot stuff, and the things they shoot will emanate light around it and cast light on stuff.
Yeah, that's something we forgot to mention in gameplay. There are world events kind of like the fates in
14.
In 14. So like you'll
Final
have a big
Fantasy
boss.
14.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 14.
And
You'll
so
have a
you
big
can be
boss
patrolling along
that appears.
in an area doing random mission stuff you can find, and all of a sudden this major world event will happen, and every person in that area can come and help each other complete.
Yeah,
it.
we
And
did.
Can you go online and find out what happened?
Probably.
Yeah, you can.
I think I got a card from that actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I know those were fun.
Caleb and I, we had our first playthrough. We were like level 5 or level 6.
Yeah, and we ran into this
and
big
we
motherfucker.
ran into this. We accidentally became involved in this huge world event that these 2 level 40 dudes are playing. And we walked, oh look, a giant scarab from Halo. Let's go play over there. And we would have been trashed if we didn't.
Did you guys run into any
piggyback.
dudes that had question marks in their level?
Yes, I ran into a few of those.
Yeah.
Did you try to kill it?
Okay, so this is to tell you this little story about that. I was playing with a different character, and there's Hive was in a certain area, clear him out, but then I come back later, right? And I noticed there's a little blip on my radar in the corner. So I'm like, what is that? I walk over in the corner, and there's this little naked person crouching in that corner, and I'm like, oh, that looks like the witch from Left 4 Dead. So I go over there and I shoot it, and my weapon says what does it say? Immune. So I shoot it and it tells me it's immune from my weapon, and its levels all like question marks. It stands up and chases me exactly like the witch would in Left 4 Dead. I'm trying to run out of there. I couldn't. It fists me so hard. I'm just dead, and I fling. I fling
Literal
across the room,
fisting.
and then I respawn and I come back, and he's sitting there roaming around the room now. I can't get through because he just destroys me if I get near him. And so question marks means they are beyond your level.
Yeah, they're beyond comprehension.
Wow, that's awful.
Yeah.
All right. So anything about design you want to touch on before we give it a score?
No, I thought it looked great. Yeah.
All right. So what do you give it out of 10?
I'm going to give it a 9.
9? Where's the 1 point come out of?
They
Nothing's
reused
perfect.
some of the enemies from Halo.
Yeah, the Fallen are the elites, the Cabal are the brutes, the Hive is the Flood.
So just for originality's sake, you're going to take a point away?
Yeah.
I'm going to give a 9 out of 10 because of the reuse of levels.
Oh, yeah. That's also the reuse of levels. Tons of missions, same place. Like, there's a whole fucking galaxy here, yet.
You guys are kind of lenient on that. I would have dropped that down. Mostly
but
for the reuse
it
of
looks,
levels.
it
because,
looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
I don't think it's
but,
the art department's job where the people in the gameplay department put the levels.
But isn't
I really don't think
all a part of the
I
design?
really don't think that's
yeah.
part of the visual design.
You got to dock it somewhere, though.
Yeah, I would have docked it.
It is part of the design because, like, if you have like
Yeah, we could have, yeah.
100 levels and 25% of each level takes place in the same place.
Well, it's in the same place because they put it there. It's not because the art department who
True,
designed
yeah.
the place.
It's not like they
said,
didn't
this
do their
must
job.
be where the.
Yeah.
Okay, so
They
here's
obviously
a
have more in
caveat
Taken
to that.
King, so I mean, like, they had more.
Here's a caveat to that game engine that I so glowingly reviewed. Some people at Bungie didn't like it because of this very reason. They said developers at Bungie have criticized the new engine as ill-suited to the online nature of the game. And it is a resource-intensive engine that makes even small changes to maps require an overnight of rendering and compiling process.
Oh, so it was too much work.
Yeah. So
they-
it's so new maps and missions are grueling on account of the game engine.
So it's because of the hugeness of the design that the
Yeah.
gameplay has to suffer.
Well, that's why they reuse it so much, because it's just so much they have to do in order to do it. However, they have locked it at 30 FPS for all systems.
Okay. All right.
The
So
frame rate.
9 out of 10 from both of you on design. Sound and music.
All right, so there's not very much in the realm of music for this game. There's some like drum beats, some upbeat stuff.
I
when
thought
things
the music
happen.
was really good. I mean, he did complete composing O'Donnell did complete the score to the game.
You can tell it's the same.
You can tell it has that
Halo.
epic, like, I'm gonna go on a mission thing. A story. So when he actually another story, when they told him to start making the music for the game, they provided him were some screenshots and artwork, and they didn't actually have very much of the game developed for him to look at. So he composed the music and sent it up to them in hopes that it would help inspire them to create aspects of the game.
Even with that, though, I mean, there was some epic stuff, but overall, it was just kind of there for me. At least as far as the music goes, I don't really.
Hey, can you make some music? Here's some screenshots. This isn't Halo. Go.
Yeah, so I was all right with it. I mean, I didn't find it to be super compelling.
Is he never coming back?
They fired him. He sued them.
It's probably
That's where
over.
it's at.
The sound, on the other hand,
he's a good composer. I wouldn't fucking do that.
Yeah, he's great at redoing one song over and over.
He's just gonna
again.
go work with Kojima now.
Yeah, that'd be great.
The Outcasts just all combined. But no, the sound was great, though.
That'd be awesome.
That would be kind of sweet.
Like the effects of the guns, they sound really good. The the damage, I don't know, it all does sound pretty solid.
Yeah, all the in-game sounds, your Star Wars speeder bike.
Yeah, that sounds pretty close. The fucking
the Sparrow.
Yeah, bullshit.
You have to go unlock every time you go to a new planet.
Yeah, you have to go find it.
And then
the Sparrow Station.
In-game sounds, when you're fighting with your friend and it gets kind of quiet, then you hear gunshots over the ridge. You jump up and you see other players fighting people. You're like, awesome. So dynamically, you're surrounded by the environment. So I wish I had some awesome headphones to have that much more of a level of immersion in the game, because really that's just you're
another
surrounded
aspect.
by it.
Yeah, no, it's very similar to the global lighting thing that we were talking about. It's you can hear stuff from far away and then like get closer and it gets louder, and it's pretty cool.
Guns sound like guns. Caves are echoey. We're good.
Yeah.
I do have to say that I like when the game started, the music was something I noticed.
Yeah.
Whether or not you find it anything that's special or not, Caleb, I think that the music is from what I've heard is pretty fantastic. Although I don't know how much it's used in the actual game later.
Maybe
on.
we can insert a blip of the music. I listened to
we will
it.
because we'll put the trailer in between.
I listened to some of the music more when I realized it was on public domain. So I listened to some of it. I think it's awesome, especially at the end boss where you're fighting that it just.
Yeah,
that climaxes perfectly with the end.
All right. This is also the kind of realm of voice acting as well. How was voice acting?
Well, Peter Dinklage.
Well,
that I never heard.
You guys didn't hear the play of Peter Dinklage.
I'm just
so on the version that you played.
I think the voice actor for the male machine kind of sounded like George Clooney, but he is not George Clooney.
Yeah.
But on a voice acting level, the Sears British accent kind of got overpowering every now and then. It's kind of droning on and on.
Yeah, that's true.
But otherwise, the voice acting, I think, is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was decent at least. I mean, it wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't like, oh yeah, this is good voice acting, but it didn't feel wrong. The ghost still felt lazy to me, though. Is the thing. Like, but not nearly as.
Both there in the game, Caleb?
No, he's great. He's just a side guy, but I love talking to old Gideon Emery in there. And it was passable at the very least. So I didn't feel it was jarring or anything like that we run into.
I have to say the voice acting for the Hunter class head, Cade, he was awesome. He was actually funny.
Yeah, that's true. There was some good stuff.
Okay, so out of 10,
I would give it 7.5. 8.
7 or 8.
Don't do that to me.
8. I'll do it an 8.
It's more math than Joe is willing to do.
Decimal points.
Well, no, we already got it out of 100. You don't need to add like a fourth digit to the.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna give it. I'll give it an 8 too. I didn't have a problem with it. Like I wasn't quite as blown away by the music. Then again, I've always thought Halo's overrated anyway. Like everyone's like, "Oh man, the song is so good." I'm like, "Yeah, it's good, but
the Steve Vai piece on Halo 2. Come on,
dude, they just keep using the same theme."
Paul McCartney.
It's a theme. They're gonna use that theme.
Yeah, but it's
variations on the theme.
I get that, but it's like they treat it like it's some ascension or descended from God, and I'm like, it's the same fucking thing, just retooled every time. Like, yeah, it's cool. I really like it, but I don't know. It was good. It was good.
All right.
But there's better.
Okay. Replayability, guys.
Well,
I
there's
think
different classes.
Replayability is high. I've already beat the game twice as 2 different classes. I might do it again with 3rd class, but I know I'm going to play it again with the Taken King.
So you are definitely going to play the Taken King?
I am definitely going to play the Taken King.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but it's going to happen.
So what would you give replayability out of 10 for you, Cameron?
Out of 10, well, 9, because it's almost a certainty.
All right. For me, replayability is also pretty high. I mean, if you think about it, the story sucks as we've gone through. It takes like 6 minutes, but we've come back. I've come back to play the multiplayer.
Yeah, coming back to play the multiplayer, does that count for replayability?
I think so.
Yes.
Then it's a 10. I'm going to have to give that a 10 because I'm 100% going to play it again.
Yeah, we might actually go home and play it with Caleb. We might do some of the raids. You know, I'm inclined to do it. There are trophies, so I, of course, want them. And am willing to put in a little extra time because, you know what? The engine is fun. The main story, the campaign may have been the biggest letdown ever, but you know what? I'm going to go with a 10 as well. I think it's something I'm certainly going to play again. I want to get Taken King. We're going to hit that up the next time Cameron and I have a game together, and we'll maybe play with Greg.
I've been interested in playing Taken King since I beat the game and then heard, oh, here's the last half of the game, and I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Well, maybe
Not
I'll learn what's
just the
up.
last half of the game, but a restructuring.
They're
going to
put one.
half
So
too.
like it'll be a completely new experience.
See, I'm a lot more butthurt about that kind of stuff than you. You're like looking forward to it. I'm like, fuck you.
Well, dude, I did play it like a year ago, so it's like,
they beat EA at their own game.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a completely different experience for me playing through it again. So
yeah, and there are different classes, and I do want to explore the lightning jazz hands when I actually get to take them.
I would like to be able to throw knives.
Yeah, I love throwing knives. It's kind of cool. There's like different abilities, and I'm like, you know what? I wish I had Cameron's little fuckface grenade thing. That's actually pretty nice.
Are we talking about the game still? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
the in-game stuff.
Yeah, it's multiplayer that Cameron always kills me with.
I
But
just love throwing knives.
yeah, so definitely replayability super stellar. I don't think it would last forever, though. I do think this game does have an end.
An expiration.
Yeah, and I don't think it's...
Well, that's the point. So
And that's why Destiny 2 is being made.
that's why Destiny 2 is being made, but then also they add, like most massive online games, they're adding new things every year.
Right, they add stuff.
So so they'll speak to it. This is Destiny Year 1. This is Destiny Year 2. That's just little. So there's actually 3 DLCs for Destiny at the moment that you can get.
Right.
And that's just a different year of Destiny. Another reason to keep their players coming back and socializing and playing the game.
Right, and with the no sub, I mean, it's something that I could see myself hitting back up later. It's just not something I'm going to continually just spooge my time out to like Cody did when he got it. It's not really, I'm not that into it, but I will pick it up definitely for Taken King.
All right.
No doubt.
So final thoughts on the game? Good, bad?
I think it's worth it
it's good.
if you pick it up for probably $20, I'd say. Would be
If it goes on sale
40.
again on Taken King, grab it. You take the Taken King.
yeah.
I believe it's $40 for Taken King. On
Yeah,
PSN
that's
store.
too much for me. That's not worth it.
You don't even own the fucking game.
I don't
and that's
care.
with Taken King.
I don't care. Oh, it's the game and Taken King?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, maybe. That's worth
Oh
it.
no, that's fucking too much, guys.
Well, really, if it doubles the game, we played it for 10 hours. That's 20 hours.
So that's a regular size game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, but it's a regular, I don't know.
Hopefully the second Destiny will learn from its mistakes and actually stick to a storyline.
Schweiss, we talked about this the other day. It was the we've been playing Final Fantasy for the Final Fantasy podcast for 2 years, like a month at a time or 2 months sometimes on the big games. So we're used to games that are at least 25 hours. And then we've played how many days of Final Fantasy 14 did you have to play to beat it?
A lot. I don't even know. It was like
yeah.
10.
Yeah, you remember how it took you like
It was
2
days.
hours to beat Ico?
Days
Yeah.
worth of play. So when we're looking at prices of games and like, what do you mean the campaign's only 14 hours?
Yeah, it feels...
Like that seems cheap.
But it depends, though, because I knew Far Cry Primal was not going to be that long of a game, but I was willing to pay for it. because it looked sweet.
Because Far Cry is amazing.
Destiny, I wasn't on the hype train for, so I'm less inclined to shell out $40 for Taken King. I don't know.
All
It's just I don't know. It just depends on what you want.
That's fair. You ready for the final scores?
All right, let's do it.
All right, so as a recount, story, Cameron gave it a 4, Caleb gave it a 5. Gameplay, they both gave it 8. Design, they both gave it 9. Sound and music, they both gave it 8. Replayability, they both gave it 10.
You remember how you were giving me shit for agreeing with Joe on the Game Dev Tycoon?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
All right, the total. Cameron, 39 out of 50. Caleb, 40 out of 50. The second worst game of all time, according to Nude Clan. Destiny is fresh.
It is fresh.
At 79
Worth playing.
out of 100.
You know what? I'm going to take that to say we are on par with Metacritic.
Well,
Our review.
76 for Metacritic.
Our review is right there along with Metacritic's
There you
review in respect in the online community.
Yeah.
All right. So Destiny, pick it up.
Yeah.
If it's cheap.
Definitely.
I'd say worth it.
Pick it up on sale.
Yeah, I'd buy it on sale for sure.
All right. Well,
Would you agree, Craig?
Yeah, if it's on sale, definitely.
Please play the Taken King version, and we will review that at a
Yes,
later time.
indeed we will.
let's get to some news.
All right.
All right, so as always, I have very little. Let's see, the Humble Bundle. We got some nice hippie games here. There's one called
Hippie games?
Plants and Shrubs,
Yeah.
Trees, Environment Props, all four. I'm just kidding. It's mocap animation pack.
I love that game, Environment Props.
Yeah, Environment Props.
That is my favorite game.
Sounds like a North Korean.
Although,
Yeah, it looks like this is a like a little engine to create stuff. Yeah, so if you pay $11.39, you'll also get access to Rise. It's like a Rome game. Do you remember that game?
yeah, Rise, Son of Rome.
Yeah, Son of Rome, but you got a Nature and Animal pack, some nice Crytek Formula Racing starter pack.
It sounds like
And
a really shitty Humble Bundle.
it kind of is. And Nexia's. I got that game for free a long time ago. If you pay $13 or more, you also get Rise, Son of Rome, Roman pack, World Building pack, which actually is probably really cool.
Oh, it's Rise spelled with a Y.
So it's like-
not an I.
It's a Humble Bundle for people who want to
create their own shit.
really dick around.
Yes, if you got lots of time, check that out. You know what? There is a lot of VR stuff that's been coming out lately, and I know Joe's going to touch on that as well. I do kind of want to do a VR episode where we talk about VR and we talk about the different ones that we have available. I mean, there's the PlayStation VR that's coming out. There's the Samsung one that's for the phone that Dwayne actually has. I'd like us all to try that out. It's cool.
Yeah?
And and then there's the super pricey yet badass one that's for PC and Steam. So we'll
Yeah, Steam did say they are ready to play all Steam games in VR.
we will see about that. But
You'll just get, dude, it's going to be so easy to like rob people when they're playing video games now.
yeah, they're so
They're going to have
immersed.
their headphones on. They're going to have a stupid stupid box in front of their face.
Wow.
And you'll just like come in. You'll just like lightly open the door, steal their
go.
stereo, and get the fuck out while they're like. I'm sorry, that was a visual thing for our podcast listeners. But while they're just lost in their game, yeah.
Criminal Mind Joe.
I'm sorry, man. That's just like you're both deaf and blind at that point.
That's true.
To the
Yeah,
outside world, it's
it's real.
it's easy pickings.
They would just have to know, though, that you're in there doing that.
No, they wouldn't have to know.
They would have to know. Otherwise, what's the point of trying to break in?
You have to know they're in the
Steal their
VR.
stuff.
The
Oh,
soft
I'd have
glow.
to know, dude. It's just like they're gonna be in their living room or
The
whatever.
soft
they're-
glow
if
of
they're
the
online
game
on
the
Steam.
curtains in front of the window will let them know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you got, Joe?
Just more information on the PlayStation VR. So it was officially announced that it's going to be like $400.
Yep, 400.
And
It's like another PS4.
you're gonna have a place where you can
another
just,
PS4.
or you can plug in your headphones and stuff. I don't know. It looks pretty cool. Caleb called it the PlayStation 4.5.
Well, I just saw an article. They called it that. I mean, they just said that it was going to have like the VR support, and then that they're changing some stuff on the inside to make it so it's 4K capable,
and they're gonna
stuff like that.
I guess some
4K capable.
I guess some PlayStation 4 games will be able to play on there, and you might have to use like the Kinect sticks or something.
Yeah.
Who's talking about it? What do you got, Cameron?
Well, what do I have? Mr. House, Mr. Spencer, tear down this wall.
What now?
So you guys might have heard Xbox has an announcement where they are very interested with connecting Xbox Live multiplayer with other networks for various games.
Oh, so they might be able to get some Final Fantasy 14. Xbox
Yeah, so
360
on certain
support.
games they would love to
Xbox
connect
One.
with PlayStation and other sources. They probably PC. They're just working to see if that can happen. And then Sony's response, while hopeful, was not an affirmative yes.
Yeah. You know what? I'm against the PC thing. You shouldn't be able to play PC to console. It's not fair.
Well, PlayStation says they've been supporting a cross-platform play for several software titles, like you guys know, Final Fantasy 11 on PS2, and then back in 2002. They said they would be happy to have the conversation with other publishers interested in cross-platform play, but they have not said an affirmative yes, Microsoft.
No, but they did say the reason why they didn't have 11 or 14 is because Microsoft is such fuckfaces with the online stuff. They don't even want to be part of it.
Well, 11 was on 360, but yeah, 14.
Yeah, 11 they ended up doing, but yes, 14, the reason why it's not on there is because they want it to be the same servers for everybody, and Xbox didn't want that.
Yeah, I don't know why that hinders Xbox more than helps them.
Yes.
Well, the platform for online was a lot
now
better
they
for
know.
Xbox at one
Xbox
time.
knows they need something like this to happen to kind of invigorate the experience.
Yeah, invigorate their
So
slaughtered
currently,
sales.
the Iron Curtain stands strong, but there are discussions going on
good.
either side.
The reason why I wouldn't want PC coming onto PS4 or Xbox is with certain shooters, the mouse and keyboard, the PC has so much more processing power. It's not even fair.
And then a lot of games, like we mentioned, Destiny is locked at 30 frames per second.
Yeah.
Other games are locked at 60, whereas some games can on the PC, if you have a strong enough computer, can reach all the way up to 120.
Yeah, that's not right to be playing against someone that's gimped by the console. But that is cool with certain games. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's like just a fun little game that doesn't require precision for aiming. Some of those platformer type games.
Yeah, I think one of the big ones that they were going for was that Rocket League.
Rocket League, that's the one. Yeah, the one where you're like in the ball and you fucking move around. It's like the Dead Rising 2 mini game.
Yeah.
Where you're in the, it's
I
like
love that game.
where you're crushing zombies with your big ball.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It was
But
hamster ball.
yeah, hamster ball. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
It's basically that.
Well, no, actually, Rocket League is more like a soccer game with where your character is a car.
I thought it was. Don't you move the balls though? Don't you hit the balls?
You hit the balls with your car.
Yeah, I know. But
Tell
it's
us
like,
about the balls that you hit.
You hit balls
Okay.
into sacks.
it looks like a
or
waste.
nets.
It looks like a waste
Put
of
them
time
into
to me.
the sacks.
Or the nets, yeah.
So it's entire game dedicated to car soccer.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's one that they are cross-platform.
Car soccer sounds like the most terrifying game on the fucking planet.
You know,
Sounds
actually,
it's
sounds
really
like
fun.
one
carnage.
driver and then one passenger has his leg out.
Yeah.
Hit the ball, Jimmy.
No. It's the car. You ram the ball with your car. And actually,
Okay.
if you're a fan of Top Gear, they actually did an episode where they actually had a full game of car soccer. It was a shameless ad for a certain car, but they had a full-on car soccer game, and yes, there were people ramming people in brand new cars.
Now, car football, as in American football.
couldn't exist.
That'd be amazing.
Unless you had
Cars slamming into
unless
each
the
other.
quarterback SUV had like a little catapult. Dunk.
Yeah, I think they call that Destruction Derby. But
There you go.
No,
Those
wait,
things are
no.
sweet.
I
I
think
went to one of
actually,
those.
sorry, I think it was car rugby, not car soccer. So they actually had a line of scrimmage where they had cars going.
Oh, so they did do that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's awesome.
I would like the quarterback to be or the running backs to. It's the running backs, right? That run.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm
They're
making sure.
running backs.
Good job there.
All right. Those guys should be on motorcycles while the
Or the wide
big guys are in
receivers
the cars.
too. Wide receivers have to be really fast, so they're just like.
Played with an actual football.
Oh, dude, you're just out the window. And then you get clipped from the side and it just like rips you in half.
The quarterback is doing donuts, and then he finally like uses the car momentum.
Yeah, like 200,000 yard throw. The field is just massive.
The kickoff is just going to be one guy with his foot out the window.
Yeah.
Like I said, while the other guy drives, it's like, you got it?
No. He tail whips the ball, and it smacks the ball out.
See, now that's more extreme. I was thinking unskilled
And
drivers.
you have to catch it. You have to catch it in your like moonroof, your sunroof window. Like it comes into the car, and then you're like.
Oh, you'd have 3-person. I like the sunroof idea. You'd have one person just
out.
up on the sunroof.
Oh, dude,
People start to tone it down and
This
get
is-
like golf carts and scooters.
this is amazing. This would be such carnage. God.
A lot of steel cages.
Yeah, a lot of death, even with the steel cage. Dude, perfect.
Poor man with his foot out the window
Yeah.
at the door.
He's got the biggest paycheck. And then probably the dude on the roof catching it, the kickoff.
That's pretty good. Sorry, what's your piece of news, Craig?
Unfortunately, after all this levity, I have some sad news. There is a Pokemon art director who has passed away.
A freak accident, as it were.
Yeah, he was killed in a car crash when apparently a strong wind knocked down a tree right in front of his car, and he was killed.
Holy shit!
Yep.
I think his kid
he
lived.
had
Like piss off Articuno or something?
I don't know, maybe. He had his young daughter in the back seat, and
Okay, not funny.
she fortunately was not hurt too
Okay,
bad.
it's still funny.
So she lived, but he died.
All right. Rest in peace. What's his name?
Well, then-
His name is
Pokemon after
Eric
him?
Medell.
Medell.
Yeah.
Will they create a new Pokemon after him?
I have no idea.
That's what they should do. Immortalize.
Medelchu.
Medell
We're not
Chew.
even sure if we're pronouncing his name right.
Yeah.
That's too bad. I remember like the creator of Pokemon died in the tsunami. So like creators of Pokemon just like always die of natural disasters.
Oh, it's a hit going on.
shit.
They're taking them out one by one, and the tsunami was just a cover.
Yeah.
Please.
Really, there's a video of like him getting sniped right before the tsunami hits, and then like,
And then they heavily irradiate the bodies to further deteriorate the evidence.
yeah. It's a massive
All of our prayers
conspiracy.
go out with the survivors of the
The family.
and loved ones.
Of the crushed car? The one
No,
person?
of the tsunami.
Oh, okay.
There are a lot of people died.
Still going
Don't be
tsunami.
insensitive.
I'm not being insensitive.
Sorry, I started it. It's bad.
That was years ago. Nobody cares anymore.
No, people do care.
Yeah.
People do
We
care.
always remember. We always care.
Remember
Schweiss,
the water mow?
Schweiss, do we have any iTunes reviews?
We do have one.
Oh,
I
we have one
particularly enjoy this one, too.
that we
It's,
may or may not have read before, but we'll go ahead.
I feel
and
like
read
we
it.
didn't. I don't know.
I don't think we did. I don't really remember it.
All right, so this one's titled Great Show, G, by Pixel Edged. Do you like rap? Hippity hop, freestyle, street, gangster, ghetto rap? Do you want to listen to the latest and greatest beats and know what's going down on the rap scene? Then this is not the podcast for you. But join former rappers turned podcasters Joey G, KC,
Yo.
Cam, and their leader, Dr. Schweiss.
Represent.
Not sure if he's a real doctor or if it's just a rap name. As they talk about the entertainment scene, anything from their love of movies, books, and sometimes music, but mainly about video games. If you like their style of podcasting, then check out Ultima Final Fantasy. It's a
Yeah.
podcast about the Final Fantasy and Chrono series, where they recently definitely reviewed Chrono Trigger, I think, maybe.
Fuck you.
Dr. Schweiss and his posse of ex-rappers are awesome homies. Dr. Schweiss told me to write a review, but only if I will leave a 5-star rating. But that goes without saying because he's so freaking awesome. And since this will probably get read out loud on the show, here goes.
What's the account name?
It's called
Pixel Edged.
someone who,
okay.
who is blowing Schweiss.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's Schweiss's extra account. Is what it is.
She sells seashells on the seashore. The seashells that she sells are seashells for sure. You're welcome, listeners. 5 stars out of 5. Schweiss for president. Peace out. I
don't know if I would ever vote for Schweiss.
I would brand union enemies of the state and demand that they be brought in front of me for their trial.
For those who only listen to Nude Clan, whoever's out there, Union is Final Fantasy Union.
Yes.
Our
evil competitors
from the Ultimate Final Fantasy.
How often have you guys mentioned Union in a podcast?
All the time.
We try
used
to not do it anymore.
How often
They
do they
fucking
mention
ripped
you?
us off again.
Dude.
Okay?
How often do they mention
I don't
you?
know. We don't listen to them. But
Okay, this is the one thing we ripped off from them is that we're doing a Final Fantasy podcast, and we put remixes that we find online within our show.
True, and then also
we put it in a different way, but we do that. But ever since we got the fuck. Okay, go ahead, Schweiss.
Okay, there's also one thing that we took, the quiz thing. They have a listener
It's different.
call in. It is different. It's Joe versus them, but yeah, there's some similarities. There are similarities, but we are different.
But there are differences.
Yeah, so it's tough. And it's annoying because they just barely did the Patreon thing where they have an episode. Theirs is actually a lower dollar amount than ours, but if they donate a certain amount, they'll get a section of the show where they talk to a listener. And they asked them the same stuff. Like, they're like, oh, what's your favorite Final Fantasy? When did you get into Final Fantasy? I'm like, fuck you, man. Fuck you people. Fucking assholes. And it's Lauren, too. It's the boring, stupid one that does it. And it's just, fucking goddamn it, man. Those motherfuckers. I fucking hate that shit. Stupid British fucks. Although Pixel is also British, but obviously...
Like, if they were like Limit Break and they when we messaged them or anything like that and they responded, it would be different.
They responded to my tweet one time.
But they
fucked up on a video.
They're really... I don't know. They're kind of enclosed.
Yeah, and it's frustrating.
I think they saw it as more of a competition at the beginning than we did, and now it's just like we're silent. But it's like they're Russia and we're
the Iron Curtain.
Yeah,
yeah.
We're democracy and they're the communists.
Communist scab.
I don't know.
It is frustrating though because there are people. I don't know. There's obviously people that listen to them a lot more from what it seems like, and they do well. But it's annoying because I'll listen to some of their episodes and I won't be able to get through it because they'll be like, "Oh, there's no mini games in Final Fantasy 12 as we know," and I'm like, "There are. There's the fishing mini game. Mm-hmm. That's a fucking mini game.
It is a mini game.
When was the last time you played 12? Like, admittedly, we didn't get to it this playthrough, but there's a fucking mini game in there. They said, "Oh, there's none. There hasn't been one since 7." I'm like. There's like 50 in 10. Are you fucking high?
There hasn't been one since 7?
I swear to God, that's what they said, other than the card game.
All right.
They mentioned the card game, other than the card games.
I was going to be like...
It's like, when's the last time you popped one in? Hey, what the fuck? So, yeah.
When was the last time you popped one in? I'm sorry.
An hour ago. Right in your fucking ass.
Hey, I would like to say that we have made mistakes. I have made a lot of mistakes along my journey through Ultimate Final Fantasies.
Right.
As far as claims I've made. And this week's correction is no different to that effect. So I'm not going to be that harsh on them. However, them taking our Patreon goal.
Yeah. Well, I'm harsh on it to some extent. Like, blatant things that show that you haven't played it forever, those are problematic. Admittedly, we have some fuck-ups with 9. No doubt about that, but it's frustrating because I don't know, they like haven't played them forever.
I think we need to stop worrying about it because honestly, no matter what, like, I think we're a more interesting show to listen to, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on it. I have listened to the episodes and I've listened to a lot of Union. In fact, I used to listen to Union regularly until I started my own Final Fantasy show.
Right, because you wanted one that was better.
I wanted a better Final Fantasy show, and I think we have a better Final Fantasy show, and maybe it would be the more mature thing just not to worry about it.
Well, we did that, not worrying about it for a long time, but then I saw that on their feed, and I was just so pissed off. And I sent them a tweet. I was like, yeah, those are our favorite episodes, too. I'm like, fuck you. That's what it meant, but they favorited it or whatever the fuck on Twitter. And I was like, fuck you guys, man. You started out the same, even. Like, where'd you start? What's your favorite? Where do you see it going?
Well,
Which ones have you played and beat? I don't know what else, but literally in order.
Devil's Advocate. what the fuck else would you ask someone that came on your Final Fantasy?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about? You could have just done that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what we do.
What is a
but-
random question you want to know about? Doesn't
Yeah.
have to be Final Fantasy. It can be anything.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
They have their listeners. I mean,
Yeah, it's true. But yeah,
they have loyalists.
So
over there.
please leave a review for Ultima and Nude Clan. We really love getting those.
We do.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
All right. So 2 weeks from now we'll be watching Super Mario Bros. And then 2 weeks after that we'll have hopefully finished Far Cry Primal.
Yeah.
All four of us together.
Yes.
It'll be the first quadrilogy. I don't know. Quadrilogy? No.
Quadro
No,
review?
wait. Okay, quintet. Wait.
Quint is
Quint is five.
What the fuck?
It's quad.
Quartet. There we go.
Quartet.
That's what I was looking for.
That wasn't painful at all, kid.
It was not. Okay. So it'll be a quartet review.
It's like a fish out of water. You're just like,
Cameron,
I'll be playing that game tonight.
Cameron, you got to stop raising your hand. You just got to cut it.
this isn't
No,
class.
I wasn't raising my hand. I was just kicking back.
Oh, okay. He's
You were
relaxing.
doing this. What was
I
this?
was doing this.
He wanted to make sure you knew he was relaxing because you can't. Because you're in the
I think I
backless
might have
chair.
been doing this, and you thought I was raising my hand, but I wasn't.
All right.
All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for today. Guys, make sure to go to Facebook.com and like Nude Clan Podcast. It's NEWD.
Oh, shit. No.
To
Wait.
a newt.
Wait. We had one more thing I wanted to do. I almost forgot.
Okay.
What is it?
Dude, I asked for reviews from other people, and I think we got some on Facebook.
Oh, man. Really?
So I'm in a UVU esports club. Sorry, I totally spaced this until just now, and I asked, hey guys, me and my podcast pals are doing a review of Destiny this Saturday, and I'm looking for some input on the game. How did you like the game? Did you find the story underwhelming? How long after release did you shelve the thing? Let me know. I love bringing other opinions to the table when I record. All right, so here's one. Dallin says, I really hate the community. The community is always using the best of the best weapons and the cheesiest strategies. Developers are always forcing you to play one way with making weapons blatantly overpowered in comparison to others and not fixing it for months. And they said shelved it after day 4. Someone else says they still play it from time to time. Like the story, multiplayer is another thing. It's not balanced. The matches usually go very one-sided. Don't like how expensive the DLC was. They give it like a 6.5 to 7 out of 10. They didn't like the multiplayer.
Okay.
And one guy says he regrets buying it. And he said the Taken King really makes the game playable. And the new raid is a major upgrade from the old raids. And PvP, they still really liked.
Was there anything on the Ultima forums?
Let me see.
We should have done this during our game.
Yeah, we really should have done this during the review. We should probably cut this and put this there. But
No, that's not going to happen.
yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. It's a wrap up of Destiny.
No, it is. It is.
Before we get out of here.
No one else
Nothing
said
on
shit on Ultima, so thanks,
All
guys. Now we are done.
All right. Facebook.com/Nude Clan Podcast. It's NEWD. You can go to Titch. You go to titties.tv. Sorry, Twitch.tv/Nude Clan Gaming, Nude Clan Podcast @gmail.com, or you can give us a question or whatever. NudeClan.net will take you over to our site, take you over to our forums where you can join our forums, ask us questions, talk about whatever the fuck you want. You can find me at Joseph DeGollier.
Me at Obsidian Bob, BAH.
Me and Nude Clan Cam.
Me at UFF Podcast.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys later.
All right, enjoy the nude.
May the list go on.
Enjoy the fap. Okay. I like to throw super sexies in there.
All right. Well, fuck off.